friends, today I am coming to you with some family news, and really that news is just that we decided to take the plunge and start to homeschool our kids. With everything that's been going on in 2020, we all know how schools closed last spring, and that gave us an opportunity just to try out the feel of homeschool and what it would look like for us. And throughout the summer, we have been homeschooling, and I wanted to share with you guys today just a little bit of what we decided to do, why, and really just to figure out if you are in a place where you feel kind of a tug on your heart about homeschooling, or you've decided to and you're just not sure how to start, this is going to be for you. And I want to just start off by saying that I don't believe that homeschool is necessarily the best fit for every single kid. So please don't think that me sharing this is somehow me trying to tell you that this is what you have to do. You know your child best. And so this is the reason why we decided to homeschool. I'm going to give a couple of reasons and just share our thought process as we go into this next school year. So the number one reason why we decided to start homeschooling our kids is because we felt God calling us to do that for our children. Now, you are completely different, and He may want your kids in the public school system. But for us, we just really felt like it was important that we kind of take responsibility for their education at this point, especially with everything going on in the world and just seeing different things happening. I really wanted to have that influence in my children's lives, and we felt the Lord really calling us to do that. Now, remember, I said that homeschool is not the best fit for every family, but if you are feeling a tug on your heart to maybe consider homeschool, or like I said, you have already decided that that's what you're going to do and you just need some confirmation in your heart, then this is going to be for you. One of the reasons why we wanted to homeschool is because we wanted a biblical foundation in our children's learnings. So it became really clear to me that unless I was at the school every day monitoring both children's classes, that I wouldn't know everything that they're learning. Now, I was very proactive, and I would meet with teachers, and I would look at all the paperwork that was coming back and the homework that they had, but there was something in me that just knew that there would be things that would fall through the cracks, or there would be just teachings or even inclinations, things like that, that I wouldn't be able to control for my kids and at a young age. Now, I'm not someone that is just making sure that I just protect my kids from everything. That's not really my style, but I do want to make sure that my influence is the strongest in their lives, especially whenever they're young. And I really felt the responsibility of training them up in our faith. And there's a verse in Matthew 16, verse 26, and it says, "What profits a man if he gains the whole world and loses his soul?" And so my husband and I, we own a business and we have all these other tasks, but for us, it really felt like, what would it profit us if we have all of these things, but we're not really impacting our kids' education with a biblical foundation? And a lot of states, mine included, are adopting a curriculum that I believe is meant to, for lack of a better word, meant to indoctrinate children in beliefs that I don't necessarily agree with. And with that in mind, I really had to make the decision to say, I want to be in charge of the curriculum that I give my kids. I want to make sure that they have that biblical foundation in their schooling. Another reason why we decided to homeschool our kids is because it was just a better fit for them. I have one tender-hearted child who is just very easygoing and really works hard to please his teachers and just really calm and quiet, and I was finding really a disturbing trend in his schooling that he was always getting placed with more difficult kids. I spoke with different teachers, and one even told me in a conversation that she placed him with that difficult child on purpose because she knew what a good influence he would be. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I think that as Christians, we have to be able to be the light to the world. And so I took that as a compliment that he was able to influence other kids and maybe calm them down or just be very amiable with them. But I would get him home every night after school, and he was so upset and so sad, and it was because it was just a difficult situation for him. And after seeing that night after night, and my son telling me that he wanted to be homeschooled, night after night, I really found that whenever they had to stop all the schooling for COVID, that it was a great opportunity for me to see how he would respond in a different atmosphere. Not only did I want to have my tenderhearted kid in a place where he was being heard and really taught in a way that he understood, but I also wanted to just experience what it was like to give a kid one-on-one attention in schooling and what that would look like for them. Now, my boys are both really quick learners, and they both excel in certain subjects, but they really need help in other subjects. And so I don't think there's any one child that is just right at the exact place that they need to be on every subject, and that's okay, because God created us all different. And so what might be extremely easy and come easily to one child doesn't necessarily come easy to another child. And I really believe that not everything that is taught in school is necessary for success in life. And I'm not saying that it's not important or it wouldn't be beneficial, but if someone has a particular skill and they have a drive to be in a particular field, there are going to be things that they want to really focus on. And because of just the way that the public school system is set up, and there's nothing wrong with that, it's a great system. I'm not saying anything negative about that, but just because of the way it's set up, those children that really excel in certain areas, it's hard for them to kind of move forward because they are having to, be kind of in that mold. On the subject of homeschool being a better fit for our kids, it also was in our hearts to give our kids a jump start into figuring out what they enjoyed and what they wanted to do with their lives. We wanted to give them a jump start on determining what their interests are. Now, my husband has known what he wanted to do with his life since he was like 4 years old. His whole life, basically, he knew exactly what he wanted to do. He was very good at it. And for him to know that that's where the direction of his life was going, but having to kind of be just waiting to get to that point, whenever we were talking about this decision to homeschool, I asked him, I said, if someone gave you the opportunity to do homeschool and then spend the rest of the afternoon really focusing on the interest that you had, and the interest that he knew was going to be eventually a business and is the business that we run today, immediately his answer was yes. And so we wanted to give our kids that opportunity to spend several hours in the morning in school and doing the reading, writing, arithmetic stuff, and then letting them experience their interest and figuring out how they can use that for the kingdom of God and also to provide for their families once they get older. We've really been told that knowledge equals the completion of a workbook, right? And that's the way that mass learning has to happen. And like I said, I'm not trying to badmouth regular schools, but just because it's a better fit for us to let our kids have a love of learning and really experience the pursuit of knowledge for themselves. I'm definitely someone who I love to learn. I love to learn new things and experience new things and really just expand my knowledge. And that's something that I do just naturally, just because I enjoy it. My husband's the same way. He loves to learn about new things, especially in his field. Now, you're not going to find him reading a book, something completely opposite like art history or something. That's not going to happen. But in his personal interest, he is constantly learning and growing. And so we wanted to give our kids that exact same pursuit of knowledge. I didn't want my kids to hate school. I wanted them to love learning and really fall in love with this idea of learning. And I'll give you a couple of examples of just real life hands-on learning that they've been able to experience this summer and even in the past. So my older son he loves geography, and he, even at 3 years old, could name all the states and all the capitals. I have videos of it. At 3, he could tell me what a certain state was and what the capital was. And I don't even try to contradict him anymore if he has a fact on something about a state or a country, because he loves learning that. And so he will sit down for hours at our coffee table, and we bought him this encyclopedia of different countries, and he will open it up to a particular page and he'll draw the map and he'll draw the flag and he'll just let it read all this information, and he just loves learning. Now, my other son really loves tactical learning and building and understanding mechanics and how things work. And so they've been able to go and work on machines with their dad in the shop, and they bought a couple lawnmowers and fixed them up to sell and those kind of things, because they're learning the things that they're interested in. So my younger son, like I said, he loves the mechanics type of stuff. And so he's learning about what makes an engine run and what kind of thing a machine needs in order to do its job. And those are skills and knowledge that I think aren't always available in the school setting, especially at the young age, the elementary age that they are. And there's not really a way that there could be, but because we're homeschooling now, we're able to do that. And I think that even just whenever they're with their grandparents and they're learning about animals, my in-laws have a ranch, and they're able to see animals and see how animals work and taking care of them. These are all skills that are going to be very helpful in their lives, that I think are just as important as the book work that they're going to be learning. So the first reason that we decided to homeschool, like I said, was because we felt God calling us to do that. We really felt God's calling on our hearts to homeschool our kids. Second, we wanted that biblical foundation. We knew that it would be a better fit for our kids. And last, we decided that to homeschool because we wanted a more relaxed lifestyle. And we wanted to be in control of our own time. We own a business, and so we really are able to control our time there, and my time is really flexible because of that. But also, we just wanted our mornings to be less stressed and to experience the relaxed lifestyle that homeschooling can bring. Because we wanted that relaxed lifestyle, we decided to do year-round schooling. And if you're interested in that, let me know, and I'd definitely be willing to share more in the future about that. But we decided to homeschool year-round, and we found that because we're still doing one grade during the whole year, but because we have that relaxed atmosphere, if we do go somewhere or we do have a vacation or they do go to their grandparents' house one day, it doesn't derail our complete schooling, because I'm not stressed out trying to get so many pages and worksheets in at the same time, because I know that there's plenty of time throughout the year. Now, that being said, we started in mid-May after the school year ended, and now we are here. It's been a couple of months, and they are already halfway through their curriculum that we chose. And like I said, if you want to know more about that, just let me know, and I'd be happy to share in the future, like the details of that kind of stuff. But we really just found that year-round worked better for us. And that means that we get to take vacations maybe when other kids are in school, and we're not having to worry about, the set schedule of the year. One thing that I am really enjoying about this relaxed lifestyle now that we're homeschooling is that we are able to use a lot of teachable moments. So whenever I'm cooking, I might have them come in and help me and talk about the math that comes with that, and just following instructions and reading the recipe. My husband is building a deck for our pool, and the boys have been working with him doing that and learning how to measure and angles and all those things. Those are all teachable moments that are going to help children. And I really feel like homeschool for us doesn't necessarily mean school at home. So we don't have a classroom. We don't have, like the posters up on the wall, and we don't recite the Pledge of Allegiance every day and those kind of things. It's really just a love of learning. I have a curriculum that kind of guides us so that I know where we're headed, and I know that certain milestones are being met. But really what we wanted was to teach our kids through teachable moments, through really showing them how what's in the book and the knowledge that they're learning in their schoolwork, how it applies to their lives. And so that's something that's really been great for us. Part of this relaxed lifestyle also includes working with us in our business. So that's a lot of hands-on learning. They do quotes for customers with my husband, and they learn how to do things like marking up products and learning how to give, give some customer service. And they help us stock the parts and things like that. And they also are learning people skills. So it's not just that social side with other kids, which we're being very diligent to make sure they still have that, but they're also getting interaction with adults and learning how to answer phones and learning how to be cordial and, have a proper greeting and those kind of things. And so just like I said, those different teachable moments have really been beneficial for us in the last couple of months. And the last thing about this relaxed lifestyle is that we are able to go and see landmarks. Say if they're talking about Abraham Lincoln, and we went to Mount Rushmore and actually got to see Abraham Lincoln in a rock. We got to see that landmark and really discuss what that looks like and why he's up there, because of the great things that he did for our country, and just letting them have that experience on top of their schooling. Now, I'm definitely not a homeschooler expert by any means. We've just barely started our journey, but I am definitely loving this experience of seeing my children learn, seeing them light up and bloom whenever they are learning about something that they enjoy, and really just seeing how what they're learning applies to their daily life. So it's not just about, okay, fill out this worksheet and okay, this is, let's put this away in your report card and those things. It's learning what they're learning, but also telling them how that impacts their life. And that is something that I am really excited to see with my kids. So like I said, I am brand new to this, but we are doing things a little bit different. We're doing a completely digital homeschool. So my boys use iPads, and like I said, we're doing year-round school. And so if there is a lot of interest in this, I would be happy to share more. Just let me know, and I will talk to you guys next time. Thanks for watching.